It just started to rain. Oh, I'm so happy. It has not rained in 2 weeks or so, and it has been hot. So I hope it's a nice storm. Ooh, yeah, there's the lightning. Good morning. The kitties are settling in. They're still in their little home that I created here. They're so funny. They are escape artists, so they do like to escape, especially Bonnie over there. But every time she escapes, Clyde meows super loud, so I know that she's gotten out. But they're so cutesies. The dogs and them are still not friends, but they're getting much better. Nix is just very curious, but she just watches them and listens to them. It's so interesting. And then Baki just watches them also, and Annie's the oldest one. She hates them. She's just, yeah, so it's a slow transition to, I think once they get, I have to take them to the vet. Probably this week I will. Because they got their first round of deworming, and I have to give it to them, I think, next week. And then after that I'll bring them to the vet to have them checked out. They're so cute, and they're so cuddly and snuggly. Hi, hola Bonnie. I do lock the dogs out of the house and let them run around the house a few times a day so they get more exercise. So they ran around all morning when I walked the dogs this morning for like an hour probably. And then of course they took a nap. And now they're crazy playing hard. They play hard. They love this thing I bought them. But they snuck it into they weren't supposed to have it down there. It's for me to play with them, and somehow they got it in their little home. Clyde, you like that? So cute. They're just so cute. I love them. It is finally not like 1,000 degrees, and I have a lot of work to do because since it's been like really hot, I've been kind of not doing as much as I normally do. Plus with the new kittens, I've been kind of staying around the house, doing like stuff around the house, sort of. And yeah, so I have a lot of work to go do. I want to kind of clean up some of the guadua trees. I mean, I have a long list of things that are probably more important, but I just feel like I want to clean the conduit trees. It finally rained last night, hence the cooling off today, and you see the sun is kind of just went down, but it's been so nice. It was finally cold last night. Okay, not cold, like 60s, normal weather. And yeah, so the kitties are settling in. The dogs are not as crazy with them. I've been walking the dogs more because they've been a bit restless. I think because normally I let them come down the hill with me and I haven't been going down, so we've been doing more walks. In like the cooler, when it cools, kind of cools down. But anyways, it's not in the 100s, it's not like 90 or 100 degrees today. So I've been doing most of the grocery shopping lately. And as I was coming back on my scooter with like all my groceries like tucked away everywhere, I was thinking about how when you live in a small town, so when you live in a small town in the US, you have a car, you can typically go to one place and get everything you need, use your like buggy or your like shopping cart to bring the groceries to your car, put them in the car, and then when you come home you have the bags to carry to your house. So one of the big cultural differences about living in a small town that I don't think I've ever talked about, and this is just from my experience. So I don't have a car. I have my motorcycle, my scooter, my electric scooter, and when Rafa was doing the grocery shopping, we would have his motorbike. So same thing, it's a bike, you can't fit a lot of stuff. But that's not the most shocking part, is when you live in a small rural community, you only have so many stores, and you only have certain types of stores that sell certain things. So here in rural Colombia, it is very common. And the cities aren't like this. The cities, you have the big box store. You have XOXO, you have Jumbo, you have Carula, you have like bigger stores where you can buy the bulk of everything you need, just like in the US. But here, small towns, when I want meat, I go to the carniceria. When I want to buy certain like goods, like dry goods, I go to the De Uno. You can get meat at De Uno, but it's never good because if you go to the carniceria, it's fresh. And then at the De Uno, for example, if I want to buy baking powder, yeast, and certain fresh butter, like it's called mantequilla del campo. It's like they make it in the countryside and it's like real butter. You can buy real butter at De Uno, but it's more expensive. And it's only just one. There's just one, and it's expensive and it's smaller. So just for those few items, yeast, baking powder, so yeast and baking powder, butter, even bacon, real bacon, and like for example, bones or carne or meat, red meat, cerdo or like pork, that's already like 4 different stores. So I go to the carniceria for certain things, then I go to a local tienda for certain things like yeast and baking powder, then I go to the De Uno because they don't have those things. So not only to get almost everything that I need, I have to go to like 1, 2, 3, 4 different stores. And then in the town, you park in one spot. So it's not like you have a car and you drive up, put your stuff in your car, then go buy something else, put your stuff in the car, go buy something else. It is like my bike is parked over there, and everywhere I have to go is like in 4 different places or 5 different places or 6 different places. So yeah, you end up just carrying everything in bags or a backpack, or you just end up carrying everything that you need to go to your different stores. So I don't even think about it anymore. It's just so routine and just so normal for me to do it now. But I was thinking about it yesterday as I was on my little scooter driving home, and I was like, oh yeah, like when I lived in the US, I could just go to like 1 big box or 2, depending on what brand you want to buy, park the car, get your buggy, and just like do everything you need without having to carry things around, and then think about, okay, I wanted to go buy that, I want a few other things, but do I have the room to be able to bring them back? And yeah, I could always take a taxi home or a tuk-tuk, But then that takes away my freedom on the scooter to go into town. You know, maybe if I had like a huge big shop, I could do that. But I'm still carrying things around to bring them to the taxi and being like, can I leave it here? And then I come back, like, or can we, or you go and you buy the things and you ask the people to hold them for you and then you go pick them up. So, I mean, there are ways to do it, but it involves like a lot more steps. So I was just thinking about how that is like one of the huge cultural differences here, because now that I'm kind of doing a lot more things on my own, I'm starting to realize and think like things that you might have taken for granted about the ease and convenience of having a car, having a parking lot, having a store to just pop in and out of. Here it becomes an entire like adventure almost. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that, because I think if you're thinking about moving to a small town in Colombia, you forget how much walking you're gonna have to do. You forget how, I mean, I was thinking I might get one of those like little trolleys. I saw it in the Day Uno yesterday, and I was like, I could get that and then just pull it around to every store that I need, but then I can't put it on my little scooter because it's too big. So yeah, you start thinking about like how to get things, what I need. You start thinking more strategically about like consumption almost. It's about, you know, and then on top of it, a lot of you, if you forget things, you're like, oh, I'll just order it for delivery and I'll go pick it up. I can probably do that here. There are like moto guys that say if you need something, we can go buy it and bring it to you. But I just don't like it. I don't like doing that. I've never liked, actually, I don't like that even in the US. I don't like things like that. But I mean, it's an option. I've never done it. I probably never will do it, because that's not the life I want. I don't like all the hit a button for convenience. And here, it wouldn't even be convenient to do it here, because I'd have to find a moto guy that would do it, because it's not like we don't have an app. It's just you have to know someone to do things. Here's all about like your relationships with people. And I have a few moto numbers, and I could be like, hey, and then you pay the delivery fee. You pay them obviously for their work. But you know, when you're on a budget, I'm always on a budget, you just do things yourself. It takes longer, and but I think you appreciate things more. You appreciate the fact that you have to think about things and how you're going to use it. You're not buying just to buy. You're like strategically like, okay, I want to buy this, but do I need this? Is it going to be worth it, me coming back on my scooter to carry this thing that I probably don't even need back? Or if you're shopping on Amazon and you're like, you know, like, oh, I'm going to buy this because I like it, but do you need it? Like, I think about that a lot, because I can't just have Amazon delivered to my house. As I've talked about this before, I don't have a actual address. I don't have a post where you can bring mail to my house. It doesn't exist in the countryside. So you start like really thinking about priorities, how you're going to use something. And yeah, it's a whole different mindset of how you think about things. Anyways, yeah, so I was just thinking about that. I just kind of wanted to touch on that. A lot of you who watch this, watch it probably just to get, you know, to understand how things work differently here. Or if you're thinking about moving to the countryside, just be like, yeah. But also you could buy a car and you could park on the side of the road. It's going to be a bit inconvenient. But whatever. I mean, I didn't move here to have the same life that I had in the US. So for me, I don't mind. I think it's interesting, and I always think about, I also am one of the people who always thinks about things like, oh, I remember back home we didn't do it this way. It's interesting how your mind starts thinking about things differently. Now when I go to the US and I'm like visiting my family and we just go to one store, I'm like, oh wow, how many people take for granted that you can just go into one store and get everything you need and walk to your car and go home. Like, you just think about things a lot differently. Yeah, anyways, random thought of the day. So I have a lot of work to do. We're going to go down and I need to cut some of the guadua branches, and I would like to make my compost bin a bit bigger, because I want to move the lulo and plant them in the compost. I know. Because they do really well down there. They don't do so well up here, so I'm just trying to think about where things what does well where. Yeah, so let's do that. I got spikes. All right. I know this is probably like not the most important thing for me to do, but I kind of want to do a little cleanup of everything. Plantains, I have some to pick up, I have some stuff to cut. This I can bring over to the other fence and make it start doing, yeah, so it's just gonna be what it is. Because you can see, once I clean them up, it's a lot of work. Because if you keep these on, then you're walking by them and they're spiky. So now I have to be careful walking on the ground. I'm going to do that tree, do a little cleanup. Because you can see, this is a spike. I don't know if the camera is going to focus. Yeah, right there. They're spiky. I'm not the best cleaner upper, huh? This is why we're doing it. have plenty others growing. Trim the thinner out of it. Let's see what I missed. I got quite a few cut, but you see what happened is they didn't move. They stayed. I have to pull them with this like. Careful. Probably didn't use my gloves. I'm too lazy to walk up the hill. Oh, but these I can use on my. Oh yeah, they're all like spiky. I can use on the fence on the other side. So they just stick to each other. You see how bendy they are? They're perfect. My version of dangerous willow branches. Ow. Alrighty, well, I think it looks better. You probably cannot tell at all. I'll have to look back at the footage. But I cleaned up, I got all this just from the branches down here. And then I'll show you what I did up there. I have a couple trees fallen over, so I cut some of the tall branches, or the long branches, horizontal branches, and the trees went back up, so they're a little higher up. And then I thought this was gonna be a short project, and then I turned around to come down here and look, it is crazy. This is gonna be a full day project, but I didn't show you all because how boring, right? But you can see I cleaned here. And the problem is once I get started, it's like you see all these little things to do. So I have this area got cleaned up a little bit. I just want more sun, and I think it's good to clean the guadua. It makes them look nicer. Oh my gosh, my dogs. And then, sorry about the dogs. Okay, but you know, once you start something, it's like easy to start nitpicking and do more. So I cleaned up this whole area, and look at all this, all these piles I have. But I'm gonna use them for my fence, because I plan on doing fence the whole way up the canyon on the other side. And yeah. But I also cleaned some of the weeds over here. I love these. These are beautiful. So I tried to clean up these a little bit, because they do like a little bit of sun. Look at this mess I made. Yeah. Now I have to clean. Now I have another mess. Ooh. And I'm getting poked by Guadua. I cleaned this throughout here just to make it look a little bit more, I don't know. I love the jungle look, but I don't like the jungle weed where you can't see anything look. But now it looks better. And over there I still need to clean a little bit more. But they all look so much nicer. Alright, I'm ending the video here. So I'm going to finish this and maybe I'll do my compost project tomorrow. Anyways, thanks for watching. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.